the Battle of Badr took place, there was another important thing which happened on the 17th of Ramadan, and that is that our mother, al-Mu'mineen, Syeda Ayesha RA, which is the mother of the believers, the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the daughter of Hazrat Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu, she passed away on this day. Now, in Islam, Syeda Ayesha radiallahu anha, the maqam she has, the status she has, that 18 Quranic verses were revealed because of her. And also, she has narrated the female to narrate the most ahadith. Most sayings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam were narrated by her. 2,210 narrations by her. So something we can take from this, some of us, we have backward thinking. We think we should not educate our women. So from this we learned that our mother, the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the daughter of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, she has narrated the most hadith when it came to women. 2,210 hadith were narrated by her. So we should educate our women. And the male companions of Rasulullah used to go and learn deen from her as well. They learned their deen from our mother. So what do we learn? Those who put our women in the back and say we don't need to educate our women. This is a lesson for us. Education is a must. Because they say, please maa ki god darsgah hai. Meaning the lap of the mother is the first madrasa or the institute for education. These mothers, they go on to bear children who, they will impart their knowledge into their children. So we should educate our women. Also, because we're speaking about women, tomorrow, inshallah, is the 20th of Ramadan. And my mother, my wife, my daughter, my sister, all our women, they've probably been in the kitchen for these 20 days preparing iftar for us. So that we can energize ourselves, go to, the suhoor they're preparing for us, we can go to work. And then iftar, then we come pray tarawih. All this worship that I'm standing here doing, whoever's cooked that food for me, whoever provided that suhoor for me, they're sitting at home, they're getting all that reward. Whoever has provided these women, we don't value them enough, They are without them, we won't be able to do what we do. So we should honor our women. We should show our care for them. I mean, those of you who are married, you might on the way home buy a bar of chocolate for your wife. Or your mother cooks, those of you who are not married yet. I remember when I was young, getting up for suhoor and that jar and paratha my mom used to make for me. I said to her the other day, I said, Mom, I remember those days when I used to have that paratha with the tea, I remember those days. So those of you, go, maybe take a little gift for your women at home. Give them, show them your appreciation, and if some of you, Allah's blessed you, give them a little pink note, say, I know my dad's listening to me very carefully. When I get home, he's going to say, yeah, go and pull out the pink note you were telling everyone else to give, yeah? So inshallah, I will do. Our women, remember education is a must, because these will bear the children who will go on to become, the scholars of Islam even, or be the torchbearers of Islam. Without education, with ignorance, not much will happen. The future of this ummah is not going to be as bright as it could be. So we need to educate our women and ourselves as well. And finally, to touch upon, recently I've spoken about many matters pertaining to basics of Islam. For example, if you need to perform your wudu when you pass wind. Now I've got a lot of feedback that a lot of people didn't know this. So everyone was under misconception. I got a phone call from a grown man. Asked a personal matter I'm not going to share, but it was regarding ghusl. So I addressed the issues which I'm aware of, what the community is facing. And if I don't address it here, I don't know who will. And some people, the aim is not to embarrass anyone. Yeah, remember, it's not to embarrass, it's to educate. Yeah, I have a duty. I'm a student of knowledge. I am learning, and it's my duty to impart this knowledge from the podium, from the member. If I don't do this, you're gonna hold me accountable. Yeah, so I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. it's not to embarrass anyone, just I'll make that clear. Nobody should feel embarrassed. There was a grown man, and mashallah, beard, and I've seen him pray regularly. And when I mentioned about ghusl, when you have to do ghusl, he came up to me after and he said, I'm a grown man and I did not know this. Now all those prayers, when you haven't performed your ghusl, when it was due upon you, all those prayers, what happens? Because what are the 7 conditions before you can even pray? Number 1, you make the intention. Number 2, has to be the time for prayer. Number 3, you have to face the Qibla. Number 4, you have to cover your aura. For a male, it's from the navel to below the knees. For a female, it's her entire body except the face, hands up to the wrist, and feet up to the ankles. Her entire body is her aura, meaning she has to, if it becomes exposed during her salah will break. And what are the other, I mentioned 4 conditions before you can pray. The other 3, your body has to be clean, your clothes have to be clean, and the place that you are praying has to be clean. These are the 7 conditions that have to be met before you can even pray. So if I don't address this here, even if one person learns and fixes their way, I feel I have done my job. At least I can stand in front of Allah and His Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and say, although some of you might think, why is he mentioning this? Don't look from my perspective. I'm involved with the youth. I'm involved with the youngsters. I know how they will understand. Sometimes I have to speak explicitly to make them understand. If I speak with sign language and say, they won't understand. So I have to sometimes. So it's not to embarrass anyone. It's not for you to feel bad. This is to educate us. And if one person can learn something and fix their ways, you as well for bearing me. If you find it embarrassing, you for bearing me. This will be your part of the reward as well, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Our volunteer is still. He did ask me to carry on speaking till he completes